Okay, in this video we're going to talk about making some adjustments to your spindle. Now as you start to use it, you'll notice that sometimes, and this one I already carved it off, but it'll form a little point. They call it a nipple at the top. Now you want your spindle to be flat and blunt as possible because you want as much surface area to be meeting your fireboard to create the dust that's going to eventually form into a coal. When this has a tip or a point, they call it a nipple on it, you're not getting that much surface area on the board, and all the work you're putting in, moving the bow back and forth, is going to be for naught. So when it does start to form a nipple, just take a knife. Here's my survival knife. You can use a pocket knife, a butter knife, anything that's sharp. Butter knife's probably not going to work that good, but I suppose if you don't have anything else, it's probably going to work good. And then just, always practice proper knife safety. Just kind of cut it off and make that end blunt again. Now the exact opposite holds true for the other end of the spindle. Here's my my handhold. Also, it's known as a bearing block or a socket. We're going to call it a handhold. I want as little friction to happen on the end where the spindle meets the handhold as possible. So as I mentioned in another video, I want to make this sharp like a pencil, make a point. So I'll take my knife again here and carve it. A lot of times when you get resistance with your spindle, sometimes you'll be spinning it with your bow and it won't be spinning. A lot of times how you're going to fix that problem is just by making this a point. It's become too much like this and they start resisting one another, and that's going to be a problem. So keep this end as sharp as you want. Again, as little as friction as possible on this end of the spindle and your handhold. Now, the final thing I want to talk about, this is a problem a lot of people are going to have, is once I've got my spindle into my bow, I could put it inside and put it out. Sometimes you'll notice that your rope, in this case it's pretty taut, but you'll start to lose tension in your rope while you're going. You don't have to stop. You can continue to go. But while you're holding your bow, if you can see here, I cinch the rope between my index finger and my thumb, and I'll push down. You can create tension while you're going. You don't have to stop and readjust. So a lot of times I'll just have a really slack line and I'll create tension with my thumb, either by pushing downward, pushing in. You can even wrap it once around the bow, just different ways to make tension, because you're going to find that a lot of times you're going to lose it while you're in the process of making a coal. And that's just a quick fix, so you don't have to stop. And that's a video on making some adjustments to the spindle and also creating some tension when you're losing it while you're making a coal. And that's that.